Pregnant mother on the bed. They couldn't care less. Newborn dies in their ego war. They both murdered an innocent child. Not far away in Madhya Pradesh, a cop runs with a bomb to save 400 students. He did not care for his own life. One hero, two villains. Top stories.
That's the two sides of duty. A constable in Madhya Pradesh does his duty well, while two doctors in Rajasthan fail shamefully. We are argumentative Indians, but there are boundaries which must exist on places where arguments can take place. And definitely not inside an operation theatre in the middle of an operation. This is exactly what happened. A mother, after nurturing her baby in her womb for 9 months, lost her just seconds after she arrived in this world, because the doctors who were supposed to be the caregivers were fighting. Today this mother is performing the last rites. What is the legal recourse before this mother? Is the suspension of these two doctors enough? That's our top focus this evening. Hello everyone. The Epicenter begins right now. The headlines. A woman loses her newborn as the doctors fight inside the labour room of Jodhpur's prestigious Umaid Hospital. Rajasthan High Court steps in, seeks judicial probe and a report within a week. Both doctors are suspended. A newborn dies in doctors' ego war. Why only suspension for what clearly is murder? Time to arrest these killer doctors. What do you think? Call us on the number that is flashing on our television screen, 01204341895. But not all is lost. This cop in Madhya Pradesh knows his duty well and is today our hero as he saves lives of 400 children. Head Constable Abhishek Patel picked up a 10-kilo artillery shell and ran for 1 kilometer to save lives of 400 children. And Madhya Pradesh's Bahubali cop is our newsmaker this evening. India salutes this brave officer. Abhishek Patel is joining us live and exclusive in just a few minutes. And in more news, 99% of 15.44 lakh crore scrapped currency notes is back with the RBI. Only 1% did not return. The opposition says figures prove that demonetization drive of the Modi government is a failed project, and they demand, where is the black money? Our top story, shouting at each other, even threatening each other, while forgetting that they were inside an operation theatre with a pregnant lady on the operating table. The two doctors fought and a newborn baby lost his life. A mother lost her child. A father who was eagerly awaiting the arrival of his little one is today performing his last rites. What we are about to show will shock and shame us both at the same time. The Rajasthan High Court has intervened and sought a report, but the Vasundhara Raje government says it won't act without an inquiry. That's our top story.
A pregnant woman on the bed. Two doctors fight it out in the operation theatre in a government hospital in Jodhpur. Shouting, squabbling, even threatening each other. Their ego war was about the woman and her baby's well-being.
चेक कराओ तो क्या हो गया, नुकसान हो गया क्या? आराम से बैठ जाओ, ये ठीक है। अब तो ठीक है, अपने अवकाश में रहकर।
The end result has shocked India. A newborn baby lost his life.
चेक कराओ तो क्या हो गया, नुकसान हो गया क्या?
A family's dreams shattered forever. They both murdered a newborn baby. But the government chose to only suspend these doctors. Forget any action, both murderers are still unrepentant.
डॉक्टर उनका नेचर ऐसे ही है, झगड़ालू ही है और पेशेंट को जल्दी अच्छा देने की तैयारी कर रहा था। वो बीच में मतलब डिस्टर्ब कर रहे थे। लड़ाई मैंने करी नहीं।
जिस मरीज को मैं ऑपरेट कर रहा हूँ वो मरीज और उसका बच्चा दोनों सही हैं। जो मेरे सामने 4 डॉक्टर खड़े हैं ना, वो मुझे उकसा रहे हैं और उन्होंने मुझे एब्यूजिंग वर्ड भी बोले हैं, औकात में रहना। वो एनेस्थेटिक डॉक्टर प्रोफेसर हैं और मैं उनसे ये रिक्वेस्ट कर रहा था, मेरे सामने की टेबल पर एक मरीज था, उसको अंडर करने के लिए। उसके बच्चे की धड़कन कम हो रही थी। उन्होंने उस पेशेंट को स्पाइनल देने में डिले किया। उस पेशेंट का ऑपरेशन लेट हुआ, उसका बच्चा खत्म हुआ है।
The Rajasthan High Court has intervened and sought a report. The government says it won't act without an inquiry.
इसके बारे में हमने जांच बिठा दी है। डॉक्टर की जांच होगी, जो भी दोषी पाया जाएगा उसके खिलाफ सख्त से सख्त कार्रवाई की जाएगी। एक डॉक्टर कह रहा था कि बेबी की धड़कनें कम है, बिल्कुल ही कम है, इसलिए उसको ऑपरेट करना जरूरी है। तो वो भी जरूरी था कि जब धड़कन बेबी की कम है तो ऑपरेट करना भी जरूरी था। जांच होने के बाद इसके खिलाफ 100% कोई ना कोई कार्रवाई जो भी होगी हम जरूर करेंगे।
They were entrusted to deliver a newborn, but they ended up killing the baby. Suspension is surely not enough. It's time to arrest these killer doctors.
What is the legal recourse before this mother? She has just lost her newly born baby because 2 doctors who she entrusted her life with, the hospital which she hoped would give her care, in fact indulged in shameful, absolutely unforgiving action. How absolutely critical is it that patients know their rights? Does India need a class action lawsuit against medical negligence? Joining us tonight, Dr. Devi Shetty is the chairman and founder of Narayana Hridayalaya. Kunal Saha, who lost his wife Anuradha due to medical negligence at a Kolkata hospital in 1998. His battle and the record compensation of 11 crores awarded by the Supreme Court in 2013 is hailed as a potential turning point in Indian legal history. Is joining us on a Skype from New York. Parikshit Dalal lost his wife and an unborn child in the hospital in 2010. He has been fighting the case for 7 years now. He's joining us live from Bangalore. Thanks to all the guests here on Epicentre. Let me begin with you, Dr. Devi Shetty. When you look at these doctors, there is a brawl that's happening inside that operation theatre in Ubaid Hospital. The sheer callous, irresponsible behavior. What's the code of conduct? Are these doctors allowed to behave like hooligans, in fact, inside an operation theatre? Besides ethics, is there a rule to govern their actions?
Whatever I have watched on the TV is very, very unfortunate. It is a disgrace to medical profession. It shouldn't have happened. But every profession has people of different character and attitude. It is very sad whatever has happened. I agree with the emotions which is flying high, that this kind of a behavior, it is not just about a rude behavior, it is about dealing with human life, and at the, you can make mistakes when you are in this kind of a temperament. It's very, very sad whatever has happened. I really don't have anything to say other than just apologizing to the society that, about my professional colleagues' behavior. But obviously I don't know the what exactly was the background, but whatever be the background, whatever is happening shouldn't have happened.
Yes, Devi Shetty, let me get Kunal Saha now. Kunal Saha, your case is seen as a turning point, as the entire medical fraternity had to take note of that case, and it also changed the doctor-patient relationship and made it that of an equal. What is one thing that you want to tell this mother today?
Well, look, the mother, there is no language to console this mother. But more important is that today we are talking about this incident in Jodhpur. Tomorrow it will happen in Kanpur, and another full next week. It's happening with impunity in India. Dr. Devi Shetty just now apologized on behalf of medical fraternity. But apology is not enough. You know why it is happening like this? without any recourse? Because it's a common sense question. If criminals, they know that committing crime, they won't receive any punishment, then what do you expect? The criminals will go rampant, and that is exactly the situation. Look, the High Court has stepped in and sought an inquiry report. The government has suspended the two doctors. Now,
but is that enough? Kunal Saha, is that enough? Right. Is suspension enough?
It's nothing. Well, what is suspension by government means? The doctor can practice and make a living. You know, the first thing needed is the medical council summarily should suspend this doctor's license so that they can't practice anywhere. I'm in USA, which is far better medical system, but here are doctors losing license every day. There's a root problem when a guy like Dr. Ketan Desai running the country's healthcare medical council system. This is what you get. This is what you will get until a complete transformation of this corrupt medical system, which is the Medical Council of India and the State Medical Council, are done. And people and government must wake up. Tomorrow, nobody knows whose turn it is. I mean, this is the kind of things happening every day. It will not change if the doctors, the so-called medical leaders, they just come and apologize on TV.
Apology is not enough.
Because the criminal, no, it's nothing,
Yes,
the
absolutely. Absolutely. Let me take that question back to Kunal Saha, and then I'll get Parikshit Dalal in this. Kunal Saha, you know, Dr. Devi Shetty, I beg your pardon. Dr. Devi Shetty, what Kunal Saha is saying is this, that this person, these two doctors should be barred from practicing. That suspension means that they would go out and hold private practice, and that is not enough. That Medical Council of India should take an action, and the medical body should completely ban these two doctors.
I endorse your opinion completely. There are regulations today which is in place that if the doctor has conducted himself in an unprofessional manner, he can actually lose his license, and there are quite a few doctors who have lost their license in India. It's not that we are not having a regulation in place. We do have a regulation in place, but obviously it's going to be a long protracted battle because you know it has to be proved. The medical council has to examine, and at times they have been very tough with these activity.
There's video
it's
proof,
not
sir.
that medical council is keeping quiet. They
Dr.
are
Devi
active.
Shetty, there's a video proof here.
The incidents like this, yes, I agree. I mean, it's very blatant. I agree with you, and I don't think it will be very difficult for the medical council to prove about the doctor's unprofessional behavior. And I'm sure if this is brought to medical council's notice, I'm sure there will be a very, very severe punitive action. They may even lose their license.
Yes, Dr. Devi Shetty, in fact, we have someone, Parikshit Dalal, who has been fighting for 7 years. In fact, doctors in this particular case, in his wife's case, a criminal case was registered, doctors were arrested but are out on bail, and they continue to practice till date. So clearly, all the action has not been a deterrent, and the fact that their license wasn't suspended or cancelled means that they continue to work with impunity. Let me get Parikshit Dalal. Parikshit Dalal, it's almost very similar to what happened with you in 2010. Here, the mother perhaps survived. You lost your wife and also your unborn child in 2010.
We need to put an end to this rhetoric that doctors are above the law, that in India we have few doctors and you cannot treat them as regular criminals. And doctors get away with medical negligence just because the victims don't press for criminal prosecution. Many a times out-of-court settlements enable the doctors to bury the cases. The doctors also very cleverly use certain Supreme Court judgments which say that doctors cannot be put as an equal bracket as regular criminals. However, the same judgments, if you read it carefully, also say that if a medical opinion is given by an equally qualified doctor, then criminal procedure and prosecution can be done, and in our case it has been done. And the doctors cannot hide behind the law of the Supreme Court saying that they are to be treated specially in a special bracket than criminals.
Yes.
In addition to that, there are three things a person who has suffered can do. One is criminal prosecution, one is the medical council and the state medical council suspension, and the third is the right to compensation through the consumer court. Many people are not aware that these three options are legally available to them and they should be exercised, and not succumb to the general understanding that doctors cannot be booked under criminal negligence and they can be booked only for compensation or suspension.
That's right.
I think that is a very, very key factor in our case, that the Supreme Court, the doctors in our case went to the High Court, their petition was dismissed. They went to the Supreme Court, their petition was dismissed, saying that they have to go through a trial, they cannot escape a criminal trial in our case, and we will fight till the end to ensure that these doctors actually go to jail. And when that happens, things will change in India. Otherwise, we will keep talking about these incidents when they happen. The rhetoric will go on and the doctors will continue to be defiant and feel that they are above the law.
Yes, I'm going to talk about the class action lawsuit, which is in fact prevalent in most countries, the first world countries like Switzerland, Japan, Netherlands, Singapore. And why is it not being implemented in India? I'm going to take that question in just few seconds. I'm going to play that shocking video and the conversation that is playing out between the two doctors inside that operation theatre. In fact, they're even talking about that one doctor is interfering with the line of treatment. This clearly is bizarre.
बात नहीं करो, अपने हाथ में रहना और बता रहा हूँ औकात नहीं है, तेरी औकात नहीं, निकल नहीं जाएगा किसी गलत जगह तो हो सल्टा तुम सल्टाने वाले मर गए अरे और देखो है ना मैं बोला लड़ने के धरने पड़ जाएंगे हमारे सामने रहेंगे तमीज से बात करो और थोड़े शब्दों पे ना जानते हो ना तभी कह रहा हूँ गले बढ़ रहे हैं एनेस्थेटिक रहती है कैसे अभी से क्या करेगा पेशेंट की टेबल पे बहुत सारी चीजें अवॉइड करना सीखो पर ये तमीज नहीं है इसीलिए तो सर पे नहीं तमीज इसमें नहीं है इसीलिए सर पे रिकॉर्ड करने दे आप पेशेंट लेके आ गए भाई कंप्लीट हो गए बॉडी कह रही है कि इसकी एपिसेंट्री रेगुलर है और ये चेक करवा रहे हैं तो क्या हो गया भाई चेक कराओ तो क्या हो गया नुकसान हो गया क्या पेशेंट खाना खाता है तो मैं तो ध्यान रखना पड़ता है सर आराम से बैठ जाओ ये ठीक है अब तो ठीक है अपने अवकाश में रहकर.
So, you know, Kunal Saha, it was your case that changed the doctor-patient relationship forever. I'm looking at what exactly is the best practices in other countries. It says that there's something called a class action lawsuit in which a group of people with the same or similar injuries caused by the same product or action sue the defendant as a group. Do you think that should be implemented in India? Kunal Saha.
Well, look. Yes. I mean, it should be, and in fact, it is being done. The organization that I have established, People for Better Treatment, we have filed similar lawsuits on behalf of the victims as PIL, public interest litigation. It's a little different. It's a writ petition, but the goal is the same. But I don't think like a criminal prosecution is going to solve this problem. Doctors, even in America, are not generally put to jail because there is no mens rea when they treat and kill a patient, not deliberately. But that's not the point. The point is the legal system is also inherently flawed. The right place is the consumer court, but cases are pending there for decades. And then these hapless victims, they can fight these expensive legal battles. Supreme Court is trying to do the right thing sometimes, but then how many people can reach Supreme Court? The number one platform should be the regulatory body, that is the medical council. If a doctor, like the two guys fought in Rajasthan today, knew that their license would be permanently cancelled for this behavior, just two doctors, exemplary punishment, then this will stop, okay? Every doctor all over the country will be scared to death because their license will be gone. They have to find a new profession, okay? And this is what is needed. That is number one, not criminal prosecution. I beg to differ with other guy who just said that everybody should be doctor.
Parikshit Dalal has a point on this. Kunal Saha, quickly, let me get Parikshit Dalal. You have a different viewpoint, Parikshit.
And I'm not saying all cases deserve criminal prosecution. However, there is, in criminal prosecution, there is an act of omission and an act of commission. In medical negligence, in this case, this is not medical negligence. This is culpable homicide. You cannot equate this with medical negligence. Medical negligence is, in the normal course of action, if the doctor has erred in giving the right treatment, that can be considered medical negligence. However, in this, the act of omission, by not doing what they were supposed to do and with full knowledge that their inaction will lead to the death, is an act of commission, and therefore a criminal culpability is and can be put on these people. That is a very clear position in our criminal jurisprudence. And this is a case of culpable homicide. It cannot be confused as a case of criminal medical negligence case.
Right, Parikshit. Parikshit, stay with us. I would request my panelists to stay. Dr. Devi Shetty, I'm coming to you in just a few minutes. Let me quickly get the first caller on the show. Parish is joining us from Kochi. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
If you could reduce the volume of the TV, it will be better.
Hello. My opinion, this kind of medical negligence, we have to stone this kind of doctors. We have to stone them in the public, actually. We have to stone them, because this is a medical negligence, you know. Many people, some of the doctors, they are alcoholic, this kind of in the laboratory or in the, they have to, actually, this is not good, actually.
All right. All right. Parish, thanks so much for joining us. There was some problem with that connection there with Parish, who was joining us from Kochi. Dr. Devi Shetty, Parikshit Dalal is of the view that this is a case of culpable homicide, while Kunal Saha thinks that the way out and the deterrent could well be that these doctors are they are blacklisted and they are barred from practicing. What do you think is the best way out in order to ensure that the doctors know their duties well?
See, there are in our country, there are enough laws, enough regulations, enough regulatory bodies to control the doctors. Creating one more body is not going to make any difference, because I can tell you the plight of the doctors today. When there is a case of medical negligence, patients go to the consumer court. Then they file a case. Now the number is really increasing. Then they go to the state medical council. Then after that they go to the central medical council. Then civil court. Then there is good number of them go to Human Rights Commission. So if there is a unhappy patient, doctors can get legal notices from about 5 to 7 different government bodies, and each one, and now some of the state governments are creating additional body for a fast track trial on the doctors. So all I am trying to say is that there are enough bodies, but like it happens anywhere else in the country, the implementation may not be up to the mark. That is what we need to really look at. And about this particular incident, about whether it is a criminal act or a act of commission or omission, I don't want to be judgmental just by looking at the few screenshots of whatever incidents has happened. I don't want to pass my judgment on what should be the way these patients should be punished, these doctors should be punished.
All right. Dr. Devi Shetty, stay with us. We are getting another caller now. Rajan is joining us from Pune. Yes, Rajan, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, good evening to all. Good evening to panelists and Dr. Devi Shetty. See, what we are watching on TV, that is two doctors, they are just fighting with each other, and during that course, baby has lost. This is very sad and unfortunate. In fact, this is a very noble profession, and at the same time, patients, the nobility has gone, and the patients, they are looking to the doctors as a god. They are giving themselves in their hand, and this video is shooted by somebody else on his mobile. But actually, many of the times people, they don't try to shoot this kind of situations. So my suggestion is that why government is not putting up the cameras in every hospital to record this entire thing, and if anything certain goes wrong, or if anyone is having a doubt, then these records can be utilized against of these doctors, because see, here you cannot have a second chance. You are having only one chance to get a survive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So in that case, to whom to blame? That the couple, this is invaluable loss.
Yes.
What they will say now? So it is very sad. And Dr. Devi Shetty, I hope that is you will take a lead in this case, and you, in fact, we are expecting that is doctors like you take some give some suggestions to the government, and to put up some web cameras in every hospital, or make it compulsory rather, I will say. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining us, Rajan there from Pune. Dr. Devi Shetty, a quick response to what that caller had to say, that perhaps installing cameras would be keeping that watch on them. And do you agree with that premise now, that it's almost that relationship between a doctor and a patient, where a patient would always feel less empowered because the doctor was seen as this god you almost completely trusted your life with? That has gone forever, and with every case of medical negligence or culpable homicide, as Parikshit Dalal is describing it, that relationship is becoming worse.
If you have to put cameras in every area where doctor-patient interaction happens, I think it is the end of the profession. I really don't think we should go to that extent. I agree. I just want to let you know that whatever you have seen happening in this operation theatre, I have been practicing medical profession in this country for throughout my professional life, except few years when I was away in England. This is the first time I am coming across an event like this. I haven't come across, I haven't even heard about doctors fighting in the operating room in front of the patient. It is a very shameful thing whatever has happened, but don't draw the conclusion that this is the way doctors treat patients. This is a totally exceptional case. And exceptional cases happen in every walk of life.
So you're calling it an aberration?
Things should have happened, happens. So don't draw too many conclusions based on this behavior of two doctors in Rajasthan. Please don't think that this is what happens in doctor's life and in our profession. This is a very rare incident.
You're calling it a rare incident. Let me give the final comments to Kunal Saha and Parikshit Dalal. Parikshit Dalal, to you first. Dr. Devi Shetty is of the opinion that these doctors are perhaps an aberration or the black sheep in this profession, which is largely noble and continues to be. Would you agree with him, given the fact that you have been fighting for the last 7 years to get justice for your wife?
Well, we have allowed the medical profession to be over-commercialized, and so somebody who loses a wife and a child, or somebody who loses a dear one, it cannot be an aberration for that person. That person's life is changed forever. I would beg to differ with Dr. Shetty and believe that on a case-to-case basis, as per the merits of the case, wherever required and wherever possible, all options of legality can be examined by the victim and should be pursued, so that these incidents don't happen again. Deterrence will happen only when people are held accountable for their actions or inactions in certain cases.
Kunal Saha, final comments from you.
Yes, I would agree with Devi Shetty that this may be an aberration, that doctors fighting in the OT, but he is missing the larger point though, that similar things, not same thing, everyday newspaper, TV comes up with similar horrific cases of medical negligence. And I would also agree with Dr. Shetty that implementation of law, medical laws are not done in our country. He just said that. I agree totally. But whose duty is it? What Dr. Sethi or IMA has done to bring these doctors to book. And until that happens, nothing going to change. You go to IMA website, you see they are condoning, they are praising a corrupt and a criminal doctor like Dr. Ketan Desai. Has Devi Sethi or his colleagues have done anything about it? No. And this is the root of the problem.
We have
Please
really
come solve the root of the problem.
Yes,
okay?
yes. Kunal Saha, Parikshit Dalal, Dr. Devi Shetty, thanks so much for joining us on this discussion on Epicenter. Yes, there are black sheeps in every profession, but this video that has come has shocked all of us. And today, let's not forget that there are parents who are mourning the death of their newborn. And in fact, they are performing the last rites when they could have celebrated the arrival of their newborn. With that, we have come to the end of this segment. Coming up, not all is lost clearly. Madhya Pradesh's Bahubali cop, and India is saluting this brave officer. Abhishek Patel, the head constable who saved life of 400 children, is joining us live and exclusive in just a few minutes. Stay with us. Getting you the big CNN News 18 exclusive now. Self-styled godman Ram Rahim will be serving a 20 years jail term for raping 2 women. This rape took place inside Dera Sacha Sauda, and this is where his lust remained hidden inside the caves. CNN News 18 has accessed exclusive visuals of inside Ram Rahim's den. You can see that on your television screens. The den of sins. This is for the first time on TV that you will be seeing what all is there inside Dera Sacha Sauda. Believe you me, 15 resorts, 5-star resorts are there inside Dera Sacha Sauda. There is an Eiffel Tower replica that is there inside the Dera headquarters in Sirsa. There is top class facility also of schools for kids. That's massive. Those visuals, it's for the first time that you are seeing the visuals of Sirsa, the headquarters of Dera Sacha Sauda, Ram Rahim's headquarters, the Sin headquarters. Those visuals, MSG, you can see that as well. That is Messenger of God, that is perhaps engraved almost everywhere. That is the name that Ram Rahim stood for. And those are the visuals that are coming for the first time. Jyoti Kamal is joining us on the phone line. Jyoti, what we are seeing on our television screens is a 5-star resort. A resort that is perhaps spread over acres and acres of land. And this is what the successor of Ram Rahim will be inheriting. Those flashy lights, it almost looks like a New York City, Manhattan, downtown kind of a look.
Absolutely, Marya. We had a senior superintendent of police in Sangrur yesterday tell us that a Dera supporter had gathered 4.5 lakh rupees to buy half a kilo of pickle that was allegedly made by the Dera chief. That's the kind of clout, that's the kind of following that he had, and that's the kind of money that he used to bring in. That 4.5 lakh rupees comes in for half a kilo of pickle just because of the kind of brand that the Dera Sacha Sauda was. Now, what was the brand all about? The brand needed brand building. And there you had this 700-acre campus in Sirsa. Inside this you go, it's a fantasy land. If you go to Sirsa, it's a dusty back of beyond Haryana district. And when you go into this Dera Sacha Sauda, it's a fantasy land with a Disneyland marked inside. Yes. You even have an arrow pointing towards a Disneyland. You have a Taj Mahal inside. You have the Eiffel Tower inside. And that's what is the lure of the Dera Sacha Sauda. That is the magic that he used to weave so that you have these large numbers of followers thronged to the Dera.
Right. I'm going to go to Sanket Upadhyay. Sanket, a Taj Mahal and Eiffel Tower. This is a Disneyland, more than just a fantasy land. Just look at those visuals, those flashy lights. It's like a Manhattan, or perhaps you could look at some downtown, Sanket.
Oh, absolutely. You know, Marya, when you look at these pictures, you would feel what Dera Sacha Sauda chief was trying to do was create this kingdom of dreams, this world of dreams for his Dera followers. Let's straight away go to these pictures, and I'm going to walk you through these pictures one by one. I'll ask the video journalist to come closer. This is a cave, and News 18 has been able to access these exclusive pictures. As you look at this cave, many would wonder, was this really the cave of sins of Dera Sacha Sauda chief Gurmeet Ram Rahim Singh? We're going to quickly play this video again. Now, these are the pictures that we are showing. What you see right here, I'll ask the VJ to come closer. This little ship that you see right here, This is where luxury villas, cruise villas, water villas are housed. So it will look like a ship and it will give you an experience as if you are on a cruise. You're cruising in the sea, and very, very luxurious villas, almost 2 to 3 rooms in one villa. That is where you go. So it was under construction. So just imagine, Marya, when people come to this Dera, what will they see? They will feast upon the magnificence of this Baba, of what he can do. He can transform you suddenly from Sirsa into Disneyland, into a world of dreams. So as our camera moves forward, this is the place, as you rightly mentioned, which looks like Disneyland. In fact, it houses Disneyland. So as our camera moves closer, you will see that there is a board that mentions all these places. By the way, all these fancy, this Eiffel Tower that you see, a Disneyland also, rooms by the name of Amoeba. You'll have those names up on your screen right now. This is the MSG Resort, and I'm going to stop right here. That's the MSG Resort. It's got a Taj Mahal, it's got Moon, it's got the Oval Palace, it's got Amoeba, it's got Crown. What are these things? They are just fancy names given to villas, so you can actually go stay in there. Who used to stay in these villas, or were these the dirty dens, the dirty den of Gurmeet Ram Rahim, who chooses to call himself Insan? Let's move forward. Now the camera is going to pan to the right hand side where there are names of more villas. So you've got an Eiffel Tower, you've got a palace, you've got a spring villa, you've got the hot street, you've got sun, you actually have a Disneyland. We were joking about it, but there is a Disneyland, a Raj Mahal, the whole universe, and Khawa Bagh. These were the names, or these are the names that have been given by Gurmeet Ram Rahim. This is the sort of world he wants his followers to see and be enamored by. Now our camera moves towards this direction where there is a palace to the right. There you see, that's a palace. There is an Eiffel Tower to the left, which we saw in those pictures. The camera moves forward. It moves to that room called Disneyland, which was clearly, from what it now appears, the Kali Kartut of MSG. Certainly not a place for children. This is the Spring Villa. As the camera keeps moving forward, you can see that there are Disney characters that have been made, all to basically make those poor, gullible supporters of the Dera chief, to make them feel that they have been transported artificially out of their misery into this world of joy, into this kingdom of dreams, into this world of imagination. I mean, the only thing stopping them will be their imagination. He was trying to give them or sell them this dream. So that's Disneyland for you. The camera keeps moving forward as our crew is filming non-stop. And mind you, this is a very, very risky endeavor that our team has taken because the Dera supporters, as you know, whole of last week have been quite violent. Now this is the staircase towards that luxury cruise villas. That is that makeshift ship that was made. So our cameras are now gradually moving forward. This was a bit of embedded journalism that was done by our team. We managed to sneak our camera inside and we move. Now in just a short moment, our camera is also going to climb onto this water tank to give you a bird's eye view, to give you a view of the overall view of the Villa Marya. So as our camera moves forward, you can see that there is a Taj Mahal in there. The idea that Baba Gurmeet Ram Rahim was trying to make is, you want to see the 7 wonders of the world, you don't have to travel around the world. You will get it right here in Sirsa. He sold a dream, but at what cost? And what was he trying to cover up? Now we know what he was trying to do. These are never before seen pictures of the Dera. Only people who had gone there, journalists who had gone there in 2007 to cover allegations of corruption as well as nepotism and also of sexual assault by Dera chief, had been inside this world of dreams. So to the rest of the world who are non-Dera supporters, this is for the first time you are seeing what Baba tried to do. By the way, Marya, most of the films that were shot, acted, directed, produced, co-produced, anchored, all of that was done right here by Baba Gurmeet Ram Rahim Singh. He calls himself a Baba, but clearly this opulence, this flamboyance can put anyone to shame. Perhaps even Vijay Mallya to shame, because even he did not build an empire like this. So our cameras are now moving forward into one more cave. This is also a cave, perhaps leading to those rooms, those sinful rooms where those sinful activities were conducted by the Dera chief.
Sanket, just
yes, Marya.
I'm slipping into a short break. Stay with us because this will be our top focus. This is a kingdom of dreams, never seen before visuals of Dera Sacha Sauda, those Eiffel Towers and Taj Mahal. What exactly was going on inside Dera Sacha Sauda? We are trying to really bring it for you. This is for the first time we are showing those visuals of the headquarters of Dera Sacha Sauda at Sirsa. Stay with us. That remains our top focus. This is for the first time that you're seeing the kingdom of dreams, the fantasy land created by Gurmeet Ram Rahim, who is now in jail. These visuals clearly show the fantasy land that he wanted to really sell to his gullible believers who believed in him, who were disciples of Gurmeet Ram Rahim and Dera Sacha Sauda. The Taj Mahal, 15 resorts inside Dera. There is also a Eiffel Tower. There are multiple resorts. These multiple resorts have been named after very fantasy lands as well. 7 wonders of the world. That's what Gurmeet Ram Rahim tried to create, and those are the visuals that we have managed to get for you. With that, we have come to the end of this edition of Epicenter. Thanks so much for watching.